I've gotta be me. I've gotta be me. Willing to try, do it or die. I gotta be me. Yes, it is me. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, Marty Johnson, a.k.a. Dawg Knight. And I had to sing that song because yesterday I was apologizing for being spending way too much time on this Jussie Smollett case, but it just never stops happening. There's new stuff every day, and someone told me, I apologize, and I finally just said, someone said, what did they say? They said, you be you, P-Dog, and I'm going to be me. I gotta be me. Okay, I gotta be me. So here's the thing. Yes, there's more Jussie today. Yes, I'm gonna check some Twitter out today, and we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna flow. We're gonna go with the flow. Thank you, Owen. Thank you for appreciating my singing. I sing once in a while. I should do that more on the stream. So, hey, guess what? I'm going to say good morning to everybody here. Looks like I got Johnny Hellcat and Sarah. Nice to see you guys. Jason Burns and Diesel Dave. Hello. Alan Sawyer, Sean, Math Queen, Owen Harmon. Man, there's a lot of people here already. That's awesome. And I did put the link of my Twitter announcement in the chat if you want to do that. Either retweet that or you can hit that share button, which is right down there. Did I do that right? It looks about right. A little more this way. It's probably right there. That little arrow that says share, you can do it there too. Hey, I'm just, I'm enjoying the morning. I got my reparations coffee ready. And away we go. Well, as you know, I love to talk about this Jussie Smollett case. I read an article yesterday, though, about the Jussie Smollett case. Now, I read a couple different things. I read one thing about the Nick Sandmann, the MAGA hat kids from Washington, D.C., and they're dealing with Chief Lying Crazy Pants. Not Chief Lying what? Chief Lying Fire Pants. That's what I like to call Nathan Phillips. And in the article about Jussie Smollett, there was a whole thing about these kids from DC, and it was talking about the DC story as though it was the original story that came out. And I was thinking, that lawyer that is sending out letters to all these entities with the intent to file defamation claims probably should see that article, because this was once they almost made it sound like the kids came and surrounded him, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm rambling already. Let's get into a little Jussie Smollett, though, because our good friend Rob Elgis from ABC 7 in Chicago has been doing updates, and I really hadn't read many of them, and I was starting to look at it today, and he happened to get the original police report via FOIA request. But I've also got a couple of updates from him that I hadn't seen yet. So we're going to go through a few of those. And, that's what I do here at the Morning Night Live. I talk about Jussie Smollett. I'm going to talk about Jussie Smollett until he confesses that this was all bullshit. Because I am convinced. Now, caveat, I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will admit it right here live on the Morning Night Live. And hell, I'll even make a video about how wrong I was. Maybe. Anyway, let's just check in with Rob Elgis, who is hot on the trail of everything that goes on with this case, because that's his beat. So here we are. We got Rob Elgis's Twitter, and let's see. Many of you are asking about what Chicago police said today regarding the Jussie Smollett investigation. Stand by. I'll post Eddie Johnson, the CPD superintendent's full comments, and it will be video. So we're going to show you that video. It was a media availability, not a news conference for the case. So I'm assuming that's just, come on in and we'll talk. And we got some guys who are covering this, covering the story. Him and Will, somebody who's Will. Will is Will Jones, also from ABC Chicago. So I haven't even listened to this. So let's check out what the police superintendent says here real quick.
Tell you about that.
Here we go.
I don't think we're under any more pressure to solve this one than we are on any case. I mean, all these cases are important to us, but what I can tell you about that is this. Listen, the allegations as described to us are horrendous, horrible, and quite frankly, cowardly. Now,
interesting. The allegations as described to us. That's an interesting way to put that. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna list the rest.
Having said that, he is a victim, and we treat him like a victim. He's been very cooperative. We are making gains in the investigation.
Except for not handing over his phone or phone records that they've had to subpoena.
And hopefully we'll bring it to a successful resolution soon. But I don't like to comment too much on it out of respect for the victim, as well as we don't want to compromise the detective's investigation.
Okay, so that's an interesting statement. Okay, that's cool. Well, that's cool. That's his job. Let's see. And then here's the rest of Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson talking about the Jussie Smollett investigation. There's a second clip here. Here, I'm going to pause it for a second and unmute it. And we'll start it from the beginning. Here we go.
But I don't like to comment too much on it out of respect for the victim, as well as we don't want to compromise the detective's investigation. Okay?
All right. He says he's been factual and consistent. Is that true with the police?
The facts as he knows them, yeah. Yeah, like I said, he's been very cooperative. You know, our job is to investigate the allegations and bring the individuals in. And that's what we're doing.
I want to go back because look at the he's pretty cool, but he had a slight deer in the headlights moment here. Hold up. Listen to this. Okay.
All right. He says he's been factual and consistent. Is that true with the police?
The facts as he knows them, yeah.
Do y'all see that? That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Nice to see you. It was a very slight just, ooh, I didn't want that question. Here we go.
Yeah, like I said, he's been very cooperative. You know, our job is to investigate the allegations and bring the individuals in. And that's what we're working towards. So today, we have no reason to think he's not being genuine with us. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, well, I disagree, but based on everything we heard. So let's see. So he just, and then on 18 hours ago, he just communicated with the Chicago police. They have some new information to share on the Smollett investigation. These will be exact quotes from an email I received after asking police if there is any confirmation to rumors of subpoena for Smollett phone records. Okay. Let's see. Confessing leads. The FBI... Regarding the Jussie Smollett attack investigation, Chicago Police spokesman tells ABC Chicago detectives continue to follow up on investigative leads as additional security cameras have been located and footage is being downloaded and reviewed. So they're getting more camera footage. Now, let's just say, you know, they might find footage of this actually happening. I'm not sure how. Right now, if you're just to get you up to date, they have footage of his walk all the way from the subway to the apartment where he made the phone call to the police from, except for 60 seconds of that time. So this will be interesting. They say they have more camera footage and it's being reviewed. Also, the FBI is assisting Chicago police in the attack investigation. Interesting. The Chicago Police Department is the lead investigative agency on the potential hate crime, assault and battery, with technical assistance being provided by the FBI at the Chicago Police Department's request. Finally, the alleged threat mailed to Smollett is an FBI Chicago case. Questions about the alleged threat letter should be directed to FBI Chicago as they are the lead investigative agency in that particular deal. So those are quotes from the Chicago Police Department. And then they also had a FOIA request that was granted to have the original incident report in the case, and he's in the middle of writing a story for it. So let's look down here. Now I know I've already looked at this a little bit. So let's do this. From the original, okay, so from the original Chicago Police Incident Report in Jussie Smollett case, quote, the primary aggressor, this is from the report, the primary aggressor was wearing a black mask concealing any facial features, and both offenders were dressed in black. And then more. This is in reference to the original call to police and the man who called them. Quote, he related to responding officers that victim did not want to report offense. However, he believed it to be in the best interest to. Interesting. So he didn't even want to make a call. And then as far as the sobriety part, the victim was listed as sober. And what else? Hey, Camel, good morning. The original police case report in the Smollett attack, police say the victim told them, quote, two unknown males approached him and gained his attention by saying verbatim, Empire, faggot, nigger. Okay, they obviously timed that out, but being black, I can say that word online. You guys can't. Most of you can't. Well, if you want to, but I really don't want you to. That's not. Anyway, whatever. Victim related that he is an actor on the TV show Empire. So let's go. You know what? Instead of watching him do this, let's look at the original report. And I think it'll pop up as a separate thing. So here is the original case report from the Chicago police. Let's go through this. So it gives you the incident, which is 0440 battery, aggravated hands, feet, fists, no minor injury is how they assessed it before they went to the police, or excuse me, before he went to the hospital to get checked out. Occurrence 341 East Lower North Water Street. We showed you the map the other day where that is in Chicago. It's on the near north side of downtown. The individual, black male, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, blah, blah, blah. His description. Person reporting the offense. Now, interesting. So the victim is not the person reporting the offense. The reporting the offense, male, black, 6'1", 200 pounds, brown eyes, so on. So, and this guy's 60 years old. This must be the manager. They redacted the names, but we already know who. Well, we already know who the victim is, and the reporting person is the manager. Let's look here. Let's see other communications. The cell phone. So they're basically they're redacting the information that would show personal thing here. Victim, no relationship to the unknown offender. Okay, so property type, clothes and fur. They inventoried it, taken, stolen, no. Soaked in unknown chemical substance. So for some reason, unknown chemical substance. That's interesting because if they've been saying bleach the whole time, but if it was bleach, wouldn't that have a very distinct smell? I think bleach does, but you know, who knows? Maybe they just required to do it that way. Recovered, yes. Okay, so they have that item. Now those are the items I want to see, because if it's bleach, you put bleach on most fabrics, what's it gonna do? Going to turn white or just take out the color in those spots. So it should be pretty quick to be able to determine what that is. Also, property number 2, description, white rope, owner, unknown, recovered, yes. So this is the rope that was hanging around his neck after the 60-second lapse in video. That was described as a clothesline, and in other reports described as a new clothesline. Now remember, there was a lady who had claimed later that she saw some rednecks hanging around the garage carrying a blue and white clothesline. Well, the police have already said that information was probably not correct because it did not match the rope that was around Jussie's neck. All right, moving on in this report. Agency name, don't know what that is. Dates, deployment operations center, and probably the names of the officers taking the information. So now let's read the incident report now. Incident until victim requested, I don't know what BWC. Oh, body camera. So they were going to record this event until victim requested that body cameras be deactivated. Responding officers responded to battery report at above listed location. Person reporting offense, and that's the name of the person reporting the offense, which is the manager, and blank met responding officers in lobby of building and escorted responding officers to unit of victim. So he lives in the building where it was. He related to responding officers that victim did not want to report offense. However, he believed it to be in the best interest to. Responding officers arrived at apartment unit of victim to find him. Oh, I see. So let's see. Oh, this is the guy reporting. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me clarify this. The way I read it it was wrong. So the guy reporting, who's the manager, met the police officers in the lobby. The lobby, Smollett was still up in the apartment. So he went down, met the police officers in the lobby, and went upstairs. And he related that to the responding officer, the victim did not want to report the offense. However, he, meaning the person, the manager, believed it to be in the best interest to. Responding officers arrived at apartment unit of victim to find him with white rope draped around neck. And then they inventoried that. So, holy Christ. So, again, this thing about the rope around the neck, in the video that they have so far, they have that 60-second lapse. They have him all walking up until this point, and then they have a blank space where they don't have any video yet, and then after that 60 seconds, they see him walking in the building with the rope around his neck. So he went through the lobby, past security, all the way up in the elevator, or however he got up to his apartment, and sat there with a rope around his neck until the police came. Really? Okay. All right, where was I? Rope around his neck and stained clothing. They inventoried that. Victim related to responding officers that he was walking to his residence. Two unknown males approached him and gained his attention by saying verbatim, quote, "Empire nigger faggot." That's what that redacted is. Victim related that he is an actor on the show Empire, and responding officers know those terms said to him to be racial and homophobic slurs. Okay, yeah, I guess that they had to put it in there. The primary aggressor was wearing a black mask concealing any facial features. Any facial features. So the original report on TMZ said they were two white men, which is probably what his manager told TMZ before they called the police. And both offenders were dressed in black, proceeding to batter the victim about the face with their hands and pouring an unknown chemical substance on him, staining his clothing. The victim does not remember any other distinguishing features of the offenders or in which direction they fled. Victim related that on 22 January 19, he received hate mail at his place of work, and they already have that in file. Victim showed the responding officers where the incident occurred. Assisting unit beat 1824R canvassed the area for offenders and cameras in the vicinity of the crime. Cameras located at the 300 East Lower North Water Street in parking lot and at 301 East Lower North Water Street on adjacent building. City pod cameras in vicinity. Victim advised to seek medical attention. Victim taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital by the manager, attending MD Dr. Dresden. Victim given, I don't know what that means, VIN OEMC. If you know what that means, say so in the chat. Let's see, at 4:20 hours. So at 4:20. So this is, oh my goodness. So they're reporting this incident at 2:45 a.m. He left for the, let's see, taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital and given OEMC notified at 04:20, so 4:20 in the morning. Violent crimes notified at 04:30 hours. Let's see. Oh, I see. So this is just them doing all the reports. And let's see. Let's see in the chat. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. So in 60 seconds, he had bleach thrown at him, verbally assaulted and physically assaulted and a rope put around his neck. Got it. And then, yeah, the good old the way Scribe Light would say it. And good morning, Zero the Hero. Just saw you there. I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody yet. Oh, Math Queen. I didn't say hi to you either, did I? Good morning. I don't know if I said that or not. So let's see. So that's page 3 of the report. So really doesn't change anything. It does make you wonder how the original report came out in TMZ, and then every paper in the country and every outlet decided to run with what TMZ said. And there's things in that TMZ. Again, notice in this initial report, what is missing? In fact, let me see if you know what I'm asking you, chat. What's missing in this initial report? We've talked about it at least a couple times. Oh, it takes a second for me to get up here. Well, here, let me tell you what's missing, and I'll see if you've typed it by now, because there's a little bit of a lag. What's missing is the words MAGA country. Fascinating. Fascinating. Just like we said. Yep, no MAGA stuff. Sarah had it. So, yeah, the level of bullshit is very, very interesting. All right, so that's our update on Jussie Smollett. Let's see. I think that's all he has for today. So that's the original police report. Oh my gosh. Now that is funny. Oh snap. Here's the suspect. Mr. Clean. Oh, that's hilarious. So let's look at, I just want to see some of these tweets now, because it's funny now. I've been watching videos by other people now recently, and I've been on this from pretty much day one that I saw it, and now I'm starting to see a lot of people, both people who have the similar attitude as me about things in life, but also a lot of people on Black Twitter and different areas who are looking at this going, this don't look right. This don't look right. So let's go. I want to look at some of these tweets, because some of these this is funny. Even people here in Florida. Oh, no one believed this happened. Even people here in Florida. Here's our suspect, Mr. Clean. Can't wait for the headline. 2 black MAGA hat wearing males wanted for questioning in relation to the Smollett case. Yeah, I can't wait. Waiting with bated breath. How many shot? I guess I have to wait for that investigation. Yeah, so we had the police chief up here talking about, they're treating this just like any other investigation. But you know what? Again, there's a lot of murders in Chicago that I guarantee I don't have 14 detectives on it. So where's the video? Yeah, I can't wait, because, like I said, new video is being downloaded regarding the Jussie Smollett investigation, as Chicago police spokesman tells ABC Chicago. They're continuing to follow up on investigative leads as additional security cameras have been located and footage is being downloaded and reviewed. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, being downloaded. What do they have? Dial-up connection? Well, no, they have to go to different properties to get the video, and so they're reviewing video. Let's see. I bet they already have more than enough evidence to conclude the investigation, but hoping with time the issue goes away. The ignorant actor didn't know he couldn't be farther away from MAGA territory. A good example of collusion to misinform the public by mainstream media. Yeah, I don't know about that. I just don't think the mainstream media cares. They don't want the story, so I doubt if they're following it as closely as the local people. They already got their story. They already got Jussie Smollett, finally speaking out during his concert at the Troubadour. I don't think they really care. But as this gets, it's going to be a big. I have a feeling it's going to be a big disappointment to some people. All right, let's move on. Enough. That's the Jussie update for today. Let's get into our normal Twitter trends. So I actually looked up the hashtag Jussie Smollett and found that this morning. In fact, I'm going to do that again in just a second. There was a couple things on that hashtag too. Jussie Smollett. There was 100 tweets in the last hour about it. Okay, so that's the Gateway Pundit. There's a Gateway Pundit article. I don't care. I used to really enjoy Jim Hoff's blog, Gateway Pundit. But he's kind of gone off the rails. He isn't always reliable anymore. I think he's as let's just say he's as partisan on one side as some of the worst partisans on the left. And so I don't really like that kind of stuff. I don't always have confidence. He has a couple reporters, Cassandra Fairbanks. I like her. I think she's pretty good, but whatever. Let's see. Oh, the Chicago Sun-Times has a good article on it. That's the one I wanted to see. So Jussie Smollett opens act with emotion. Attackers won't win. This is probably an article about the Troubadour. Yeah, before singing, Jussie Smollett took to the stage and fought back the tears. Fought back the tears? Y'all saw that video I showed yesterday. Was he fighting back tears? Hell no. He was fighting back some laughter when that woman said, "We don't believe that shit." Good morning, Tarkata. Nice to see you. Yeah, he was not fighting back tears. Anyway, the most important thing I can say is, "Thank you so much, and I'm okay," said the Empire actor and R&B singer from the stage at the Troubadour in West Hollywood in his first public appearance since he reported to police in Chicago on Tuesday that two masked men had attacked him and put a rope around his neck while using homophobic and racial slurs. "I'm not fully healed yet," said Smollett, who is black and openly gay, "but I am going to be. I'm going to stand strong with y'all." Good God! I'm not fully... Oh, I saw the video of you dancing around. You were fine healed. You didn't even have a scar on your face. Good Lord. Fighting back the tears. Fighting back the tears. Pretending I got my ass beat. Fighting back the tears. Carrying my subway down the street. Oh, yeah. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, let's see. I'm not going to read the rest of this because this is crap and this is a tongue bath article that I just can't read anymore. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. Nice to see you in the chat. Welcome. Everyone's here, by the way. Oh, you know what? I'm not really good at this, but you know what? I am going to shill for the first time. I'm really not really good at the shilling thing, but I'm going to shill. And you know what? I do have a donation place, and I'm going to shill. Look at this. Poof. There's my Streamlabs. Now, I appreciate everything y'all do, and the biggest thing for me, like I'm saying, at this point in my streaming life and doing daily news articles and things, is that share button, okay? Again, right down here is that little arrow with the share thing, okay? But, I can always, like Camel says, I can always buy more coffee if I shill. So We can chill. Plus, I'm going to show you some pictures too. I went to that Nigerian wedding, my brother's wedding, and wow, it was so cool. And again, really, if you want to see the pictures, I already put them over on Instagram, and I have Instagram down over here. Where is it? Right there. My Twitter handle and my Instagram handle are right there. If you check out my Instagram, I just put up just 10 photos so far of the wedding I went to this weekend. I may even show a couple up here while we're at it, but man, that was awesome. I had so much fun. It was the greatest trip. Got to hang out with a lot of family, but that was awesome. So back, let's get into, okay, enough of Jussie Smollett. I got to stop talking about Jussie Smollett. I may have an update tomorrow when they download more video. So anyway, oh yeah, Nigerian wedding, meet any Nigerian princess. Well, actually, I don't always tell my story, but I am a Nigerian prince. I didn't meet any. I am a Nigerian prince. That's a long story. If you want to, here's what you can do. If you Google the words Marty Egan, which is Eagan, and Prince, there's a GQ article still online that tells my story, and I've kind of went through it. And also, if you do Google or do a search on Marty's Big Journey on YouTube, my wife's channel, Laura Johnson, has a story of when I was on Good Morning America with that. So it's a great story. I'm no. I'm not sending you any emails, Camel. It's not me, and it's not like coming to America either. I didn't know this until I was 40 years old. So when I met my birth father, I was adopted when I was young. So wait, let me get back to what I'm talking about, and we'll get back to that again. In fact, maybe we'll take some questions at the end of the stream. I'll talk about that a little later. All right, let's get into today's Twitter trends, which we do every day. And also, I want to just go through my Twitter feed. There was a bunch of interesting stuff in there that was there's always interesting stuff. So we'll just comment on things people are talking about it. Here we go. The United States trend today. Now let's see, the top promoted one is promoted by Applebee's Dollar Hurricanes. Apparently you can get Dollar Hurricanes at Applebee's. Our new February Dollar Hurricanes here. It's made with rum, blended passion fruit, orange, black, and cherry and lime flavor. You know what? I was in New Orleans last year, and I forgot to get a flippin' hurricane while I was there. I drink a lot of other stuff, though. Oh, the Planter's Punch at this one bar we went to was so good. And then also the local drink in New Orleans is called a Sazerac. And that in New Orleans is probably the only place they make it right, because I tried to get one when I came back here, and it was terrible. But boy, it was tasty. Anyway, that's the promoted tweet of the day. But the Year of the Pig is the #1 trending in the USA topic of the day. Apparently it is, because it's Chinese New Year. Duh, I forgot about that. So the feasting has begun as the world welcomes the Year of the Pig. And there's the daily alarm that it goes off when it tells me that I should be ending the stream sometime soon. But we're going to go a little longer here. So the Year of the Pig. Now, the funniest thing here already, Miss Piggy tweets, finally, 2019 has been declared the Year of the Pig. Can vous believe it? A whole year about moi. To celebrate, here's moi for every month. Just for vous. Kissy kissy. Isn't that cute? And put an apple in your mouth and do the work. Anyway, so the Year of the Pig, lots of stuff about the Year of the Pig, but I'm not Chinese, so it's not New Year's to me, but it is an interesting thing. All right, let's move on. What's trending #2? Trayvon Martin. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. I am going to get in trouble. So let's see, and probably, hopefully, I know I'm going to get in trouble. Yes, Trayvon Martin would have been 24 years old today. And so there's this tweet by Ben the Ark Jewish Action, which said Trayvon Martin would have been 24 years old today. He should still be alive. We must keep fighting for a world where black children and black lives are loved and respected, holding Trayvon in our hearts today. Now, I agree with this in one aspect. Yes, he should absolutely be alive today. And unfortunately, despite whatever George Zimmerman was doing, Trayvon Martin was not respecting his elders that day. And from basically from the reports, and I watched that whole thing with great interest when I was watching the trial and things like that, or the reports in the trial. And Trayvon Martin attacked George Zimmerman. Now, we don't know everything that happened during that attack, but we do know that their witness is that he was beating the guy's head in the ground and he got shot and killed. And it's a tragic event because, we talk about how Nick Sandmann should have been respecting the Native American elder. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we teach children, and I'm not saying just black children, we don't teach children to respect elders or authority anymore. And unfortunately, maybe even in the black community, we maybe suffer from that lack of teaching, maybe a little more. I don't say more, but the fact that if Trayvon Martin would have just said, you know what, hey, I don't know what you want from me, but I'm just going to walk away. If he had walked away, I think he would be alive. And so it is unfortunate. But the one thing that really just annoys me about this, and I got mad and I responded to this, and here's the response I gave. I find it so strange that they still only use pictures from when he was 13 years old and not those from when he was 17. His age when he attacked the Hispanic dude and got killed. But it is sad that he's no longer with us. It's just so senseless. You're right, Sean. I agree. Zimmerman shouldn't have been following him around. But regardless, Trayvon should not have engaged him. Okay? Zimmerman was following him around because he was on the patrol for the neighborhood watch. There had been burglaries by they suspected teens. Zimmerman was just trying to make sure that this was, the case, that he wasn't one of those teens that had been causing issues. Now, maybe he shouldn't have been following him around. I'm not going to dispute whether that's true or not. But I don't think Trayvon Martin should have come back and attacked him, which is what basically the story that I think happened, based on watching the news reports, based on watching the information from the trial, and based on the transcript from the trial. And I think that's what makes it senseless. It was trying to be sensitive with this, but it was just the two stars coming together in the wrong way, and it's unfortunate that this young man lost his life, and I don't think it was intentional by Zimmerman, but it was just the actions that took place that made this tragedy happen. So, but it does annoy me that they use this 13-year-old, the photo from when he was 13. They only use the photo when he was 13. This was a 17-year-old kid who was a high school football player who was taller than Zimmerman. Zimmerman was 5'7". This kid's almost 6 feet tall. This kid didn't like how he's being looked at. And unfortunately, unfortunately, that's what happened. So rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. I don't have any bad things to say about you other than I wish you would have just walked away and just went back to where your parents lived. So that's it. That's it. So anyway, that is trending today. I'm sure there's plenty of, it would have been Trayvon Martin's 24th birthday. Lots of different things here. We will continue to celebrate your life, but more importantly, chant your name to this very day. Never forget what the loss of your life did to our country, our life, our community. Happy birthday, Trayvon Martin. You, the legacy of Black Lives Matters, started because of you. And again, they use a baby picture and a picture when he was 13. Why is it so hard to empathize with a kid like... Why it's so hard to empathize with the kid like Joshua Trump, bullied for his name, and also why is it so hard to empathize with kids like Joshua Trump, bullied for his name, and also empathize with Trayvon Martin, stalked by a nutjob bully and shot dead for walking home, then disparaged for fighting in vain for his life? See, now that's not, I don't believe Zimmerman shot him on purpose. He wasn't shot dead for walking home. It's just terrible circumstances, and this whole argument frustrates me. We were discussing Liam Neeson's comment. Yeah, we're going to talk about Liam Neeson later too. Right now it's all going to be about Trayvon Martin. But notice, no one's going to use a photo of other than when he's older than 13, because it makes him more. They treat him like a child who didn't make any decision on his own. And unfortunately, he made a bad decision against someone who probably should have been following him. So anyway, my understanding was that it wasn't Zimmerman's neighborhood. He was out of his jurisdiction. No, this was in his gate. It was right in the same gated community where he lived. No, it was not outside of his neighborhood. It wasn't a jurisdiction. It's a neighborhood watch. He was in his neighborhood watch area. It's a series of gated community of townhomes is where this happened. Like the media literally cut out the parts of the audio. They try to make it appear racially motivated when it wasn't. In fact, Zimmerman, they asked him, what's the race of the kid? The first reaction was, what? I don't know. And then he said, I think he's black. But he didn't know the name because it was, he didn't really, that wasn't what he was looking at. So it wasn't a racially motivated thing either. Again, but, excuse me. Here, let's just check this.
We're so elated, we celebrate. Yeah. Forget this chain, cause this ain't me. Though I'm eternally grateful to Jay-Z. We're so elated, we celebrated like Obama waited until his last day in office to tell the nation brothers is getting their reparations. Hey, a man can dream, can he? No disrespect in terms of change, I haven't seen any. Maybe he had good intentions, but was stifled by the system and was sad to learn he actually couldn't bring any. That's what I get for thinking this world is fair. They let a brother steer the ship and never told him that the ship was sinking. But I got other to think about, like my bank account. Forget that watch, you paid too much for it. You ought to be ashamed when brothers back home be dreaded when the seasons change. Cause they ain't got no heat and they ain't got no AC. Walmart distribution fired my homie, he just had a baby. You wonder why it's been so many B&Es lately, while brothers from the hood shooting like this is TNT lately. And since all the ballers leaving college early, I turn on the TV and don't see no brothers with degrees lately.
That's interesting. I'm just anti-victim mentality, and we tend to talk about how everyone wants to be a victim now. I'm not interested. That kind of stuff really just annoys the shit out of me. Anything else down here? Let's go on here. Yep, February 5th, 1995. Probably won't be a lot of pushback, but again, they show his picture when he was in Little League football, but not when he was 17. It's just amazing. They get the cherub face is much more sympathetic than when he was 17. The face of him is 17. So you're not going to see it today. You're not going to see it except for some dickheads who really want to push what he looked like, and maybe whatever. But boy, it's unfortunate, man. I really feel bad about this whole case. So anyway, let's go on to next trending State of the Unions tonight. I'm sure that, let's see. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is excited about Stacey Abrams. And I'm excited for all of us. It's a blessing here. Yeah, Stacey Abrams, the person who lost the Georgia governor race, is going to be doing the State of the Union response. He doesn't currently hold an elected office, but, you know, whatever. Let's see. Also joining Trump for the State of the Union, Pocahontas, Danon Dick, that's Dick Richard Blumenthal, Sneaky Diane, I don't know who that is, probably Dianne Feinstein, Lamb the Sham, I'm not sure who that is, High Crime Nancy, that's got to be Nancy Pelosi, Little Adam Schiff, Crazy Bernie, you know, these are all the nicknames, Lion Ted, Little Marco, Little Bob, these are just Trump nicknames. But also joining him today, a kid named Joshua Trump, who has been bullied because of his name. President Trump invited him to the State of the Union. I think that's a cool gesture. Interesting, though, I know that someone, I can't remember which politician, has invited some illegal immigrants to the State of the Union. So I really hope ICE doesn't bust in and... God, would that be just a shit show if during the State of the Union ICE agents came in and took out the illegal immigrants that I think it's Maxine Waters is bringing to the State of the Union? Wouldn't that be just a shit show? Holy Christ. Anyway, Supreme Court Justices Thomas and Samuel Alito no longer attend the State of the Union speeches. Their colleagues should swear off too. The State of the Union is an obnoxious pep rally and no place for judges who are supposed to be nonpartisan and above politics. Hear, hear. I frickin' hate the State of the Union. And I don't care who's president at the time. I just can't stand the State of the Union. It's just it's stupid. Like I said, it's a pep rally, and each side stands up when their, when their favorite pet things are talked about. I don't know if Trump's going to be, oh man, this is going to be interesting, especially after the recent fights and the changeover in the House. Okay, that's the number 2 trending, or number 3 trending thing today. Number 4 is Tuesday Thoughts. What's going on in Tuesday Thoughts? Last night, Senate Democrats blocked a bill that would provide protection for any baby born alive after an attempted abortion procedure. Think about that. Well, I'm pretty sure that bill came about because of the what the Virginia governor said about basically having a live baby kept comfortable while the doctors and the mother make the abortion decision. Now, by that time, you would think it was too late. And I'm not sure if he really meant to put it that way, but that is exactly the way it came out. So I'm sure this bill came about because of that. And wow. Last night, Senate Democrats blocked a bill that would provide protection for any baby born alive after an attempted abortion procedure. Whew. Now, I personally, I'm pro-choice to a point, and I don't really have a dog in the fight because I'm not, I guess I'm not female. It doesn't mean I can't have an opinion. I will absolutely have an opinion, and I'm fine with abortion being legal until maybe a certain point of viability, and that's kind of my, I haven't a fully formed opinion on it. But this, a baby born alive after an attempted abortion procedure, whew, that's just, that frightens me. I'm sorry, it's no longer a part of it's not, my body, my choice, yeah, but now it's a separate body away from your body. And if that baby's born alive, now you're saying, okay, we can kill that? Ugh, I struggle with that so hard. I don't even like after viability. But But man, that's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. What else here? Tuesday thoughts. Yep, Trayvon Martin would have been 24 years old today. Whatever. We already talked about that. Gucci. What are your thoughts on Gucci hiking shoes? Would you rock them to do what? To do what? Gucci. Oh my God, that's just stupid. Okay. There's some cartoons here. With Kavanaugh was Believe All Women. With Democrat Justin Fairfax. We talked about this one yesterday where there's Justin Fairfax is the lieutenant governor of Virginia who, if the current governor stepped down, would become the governor. And now they, someone has accused him of sexual assault, and no one, basically they're believing him. So I said innocent until proven guilty, but I don't think everyone gets that benefit of a doubt. Sometimes politicians on one side of the aisle get that benefit of the doubt, and on the other side of the aisle do not. So I wish there was a Tuesday thought here that was just some nice, happy advice. Let's see. Sometimes you need to step outside, get some air, and refine yourself, or who you are and where you want to be. I think that should have been of who you are and where you want to be. So that's a terrible quote because they got the word wrong. Good God. Come on now. All right. Hey, there's a nice Tuesday thought. Look at that beautiful flower. There's our Tuesday thought. All right. Let's end last trending on Twitter. Hank Aaron. State of the Union's trending at 8 also? Oh, I see. SOTU. And then there's State of the Union. Same hashtag. Let's see what's going on with Hank Aaron. If you're not familiar with Hank Aaron, when I was a kid, Hank Aaron was he was trying to break Babe Ruth's home run record. He had which would have been 713 was Babe Ruth, so 714 was the one that broke Babe Ruth's record, and Hank Aaron's is the one who beat it. Now, so it's Hank Aaron's birthday. He turns 85 today. Looking pretty good for an 85-year-old there. That's probably from this last year with the Atlanta Braves. He is a baseball legend. He was a phenomenal baseball player, too. He was a great outfielder, good fielder, and a great hitter. He had a great swing. I was worried, though, when you see Hank Aaron trending. Yep, that's how I felt, too, man. I was like, oh, no. Hank Aaron didn't die, did he? All right, so anything else about Aaron? It's acceptable. Also, let's see. The only reason Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron can even belong in the same sentence is because Hank Aaron wasn't a cheating asshole like Barry Bonds. Happens to be a sentence. Oh, that's funny. Hank Aaron has more class in his pinky finger than Barry Bonds has in his entire steroid-bloated body. And, Barry Bonds is the current all-time home run leaders. And Hank Aaron did finish with 755 home runs. Look at this. 2,297 RBIs, first all time. 755 home runs, second all time. And 3,771 hits, third all time. That's behind, who's that behind? Pete Rose and who's the other guy? The guy that's, what the hell is his name? Any baseball fans here? Remind me of the name anyway. Let's see. Yeah, you only get spent out when you're on the correct side. Wow, didn't realize he was still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. He was great. Hey, is this the one? Oh, that's not it. I wonder if they have a video of him hitting 715. That was kind of fun. Oh, here it is. Vin Scully. Let's watch this. This is cool.
Once again, a standing ovation for Henry Aaron. So the confrontation for the second time.
I hope I don't get a hit for this. It is on YouTube, though.
He means the tying run at the plate now. So we'll see what Downing does. Al at the belt, delivers, and he's low. Ball one. And that just adds to the pressure.
Yeah, he had 714 at the time, which is what Babe Ruth had.
The sound effects.
No, not Babe Ruth. It was, I'll think of it.
1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away.
There it is.
Ball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
And some people run out on the field and stuff. It's kind of funny. He's kind of pushing him away. So there it is, 715. That game that was nationally televised, I got to watch that game, and we saw that happen, man. 1974.
What a marvelous moment for baseball.
All right, so that's all we're going to watch of that. So that was pretty cool moment in history for me. All right, so let's go back. Now I'm just going to go and let's do some random Twitter stuff. Now I originally came in here, Twitchy team talked about the Chicago Police Originals Jussie Smollett report. I've already talked about that. What else is coming up on here on Twitter? Let's see. Let's just read this. I'm not a celeb, I'm an actor and a writer. It looks even better when sane and normal people stand up to the smears. But get a few more followers and you'll be held to account. Corbin is a disaster, whichever way you look at it. You're one of the millions proving exactly that. Okay, that was probably, I'm assuming that's, who's that in reply to? Probably originally, well, who knows? I don't even know what this, I don't care. Jerry B. Corbin. British politics, yeah, he's kind of a, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Jerry B. Corbin, but there are people who are. I always love how they like to. It's so funny how acceptable it is to bash politicians when they're not of your party in ways that would be considered, let's just say, sexist and racist. So a DC art exhibit features an Ivanka Trump lookalike vacuuming up crumbs thrown by visitors. You know, whatever. And so Ivanka Trump responds, women can choose to knock each other down or build each other up. I chose the latter. Let's see some of the comments on this one. This would be entertaining. Let's just read the comments on Ivanka Trump saying the words, women can choose to knock each other down or build each other up. I choose the latter. Oh, let me see. I wonder if Krasenstein is going to be in the top 5 comments on this. Let's just check. All right. First. Okay, this is good. I agree. I'm glad I have women around me who are positive and encouraging. Many have their own businesses and are my mentors. My mom, who passed away 2 years ago, taught me by her example. Praying for you and your family. Okay, good. Okay, so far, one more reason you have my respect. Always an adult. Stay strong, Ivanka. These are supporting people type of people. Okay, well said. You're exemplify the statement. When they go low, we go high. So these are people who like her. Okay, good. Stay strong. When you work together, female co-workers, Patty Wincham, all these names, blah, 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 we're strictly building each other up. All honor peers in the social sciences. Ivanka, a classy lady. Well, that's nice. Good. Anyone? I thought for sure. I thought for sure that they would be. Yeah. Tell me how you're going to build up Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, and Kirsten Gillibrand. Well, that's not her job to do that. She can be kind to them without wanting them to be a president. Okay. They at least could have had you. What in? Oh my gosh, this person can't spell, so I'm not going to read that. I thought for sure there'd be people trashing her much worse than that, but you know. Anyway, hey, by the way, did I mention I have a Twitter account? It's at Dawg Knight, as you can see right below over there somewhere about. Am I pointing the right way? This is hard to do. Pointing that way. That way. Oh, no, that way. It's over there. It says Dawg Knight somewhere over there. Kind of where my finger's pointing. That way. There we go. And down there is the Instagram account and the Twitter account and the Instagram account and the Twitter account and the Instagram account. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see if there's anything that's interesting. Deep State approved. Don't know what that means. Exclusive. Documents show CNF was tipped off on Roger Stone something. Oh, this is Gateway Pundit. You know what? I'm not gonna read Gateway Pundit. I like Jim. But again, he's a little bit off the rails, even for my liking, being a right-leaning human being. Anything else good in here? Oh, interesting. Judge throws out death sentence in murder case involving Dunwoody teen. Let's go check this out. I don't even know about this story. We'll read this one and then I'm going to call it a day. Judge throws out death sentence in murder case involving Dunwoody teen. A federal judge in Atlanta has thrown out a death penalty sentence imposed against a man who carjacked and killed a 16-year-old Dunwoody High School student. Eric Perkinson must stand trial within 120 days on the question of whether he is intellectually disabled, U.S. District Judge Amy Totenberg ordered. Alternatively, he could be sentenced to life in prison. If a jury is to find Perkinson to be intellectually disabled, he would be ineligible to get the death penalty. Interesting. In her ruling... Oh, thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah put my links out there. In her ruling, Totenberg found that Perkinson's lead attorney, Alan Meadoff, abandoned his client before and during the trial, making him incapable of mounting defense. Yeah, I had seen I'd seen something on this, and that they're saying that the attorney just didn't do his job. Also, Totenberg faulted then Superior Court Judge Jefferson Davis Jr. for refusing to delay the trial when Meadoff's co-counsel Chris Paul pleaded for more time to prepare. During the 1999 trial, Perkinson of Cartersville was convicted and sentenced to death for the murder of Louis Nava, a member of his high school wrestling team. After his death, fellow students, teammates, and parents raised money for the Louis G. Nava Memorial Park in Dunwoody. So this happened in 1998. Nava and his best friend, 17-year-old Dakari Slowly, were carjacked in the Mount Vernon Shopping Center parking lot by Perkinson and one of his accomplices. With Nava shoved into the trunk and Slowly sitting in the passenger seat, they drove 400 miles to a secluded road in Bartow County. Perkinson marched Nava into the woods and fatally shot him in the head. Slowly was shot in the arm when he fled for his life. He flagged down a pizza delivery man and later identified Perkinson as the gunman. So this is pretty brutal. I mean, carjacked, took him out of the woods, shot the kid in the head. It's just awful. As Perkinson's case near trial, his lead attorney wasn't ready. Totenberg wrote in the January 31st decision, Meadoff was incompetent and a non-entity as far as Perkinson's legal representation is concerned. So I'm not sure, then they need to have a new trial. I mean, if that's the case, which I think they're doing here. Meadoff, who died last year, was suspended from practicing law for 2 years by the Florida State Bar because of a crack cocaine addiction. Well, there you go. You don't want your lawyer to be... You definitely don't want your lawyer to be addicted to crack cocaine. That would be awful. He acknowledged that he may have slept during parts of Perkinson's trial. Wow. So anyway, yeah, there were a lot of problems with this trial. I remember this, and I mean, it's from a while back, but I for some reason this case sticks out in my mind. So they're going to have a new trial, perhaps not being able to give the guy the death penalty because mentally incompetent. I'm not sure about that. I mean, if you can put him in life in prison when he's mentally incompetent, I'm not sure, but I don't know. I whatever. That's a wild trial. All right, hey, so here's what I'm going to finish with today. I told you I'd show you a few of the pictures from my from the wedding I went to this weekend also, and if you have questions, go ahead and throw a couple in the chat. I'll try to answer some. Let me go back a little bit here. There were a couple back here. Hopefully I can find them. Asking about the Prince thing. Yeah. So anyway, I was adopted. I was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. I was adopted by my parents who I grew up with who lived in Omaha. I was in a foster home until I was 4 years old. Then I was adopted. After and I really never had this thing about trying to find, never really thought a whole lot about trying to find my natural parents. And when I got married, my wife would ask me that all the time. It's like, God, aren't you at least a little bit curious about, your birth parents? And I was like, well, not really. I mean, I've thought about it, but I never really, it was never compelling. I grew up with two great parents and a sister, and had a really good life growing up. You know, I mean, it was great for me when I was adopted. Grew up in this family, and it was great. And so it wasn't really a big deal. But my wife always kept asking me, like, you know, I guess I would be interested in possibly finding one of my parents. And so, you know, and also my mom, I'll call my mom, and my mother's my actual, the person who birthed me. You know, my mom had even offered at one point when I was in high school, just, you know, if you're ever interested in finding your birth parents, you know, we'll help you. You know, we're fine with that. And I just thought, it always felt weird, like I'm being disloyal to the people who raised me. In any case, but my wife kept bugging me about it. I'm like, you know, okay, we'll try and figure it out. So and what happened, but I still never really pursued it. Well, when we got married, we were going to take a trip to Mexico, and I didn't have a copy of my birth certificate. You need a copy of your birth certificate to either get a passport or whatever. So I called my mom and I said, hey, I need a copy of my birth certificate. And I was living here in St. Paul at the time, and she was still in Omaha. And she says to me, my mom says, well, you're going to have, you can get it up there. And I'm like, well, how can I get it up here? I mean, can't you send me something? And she said, no, you were born in St. Paul. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know that I was born in St. Paul until then. And so and I'm like, how old am I at the time? I'm 20 years old. I didn't know where I was born. I never even thought to ask. Well, you know, who cares? I mean, I've grown up. So So I go to the St. Paul, you know, the state of Minnesota, and get a birth certificate. But it's, you know, when you're adopted, they change your birth certificate to your new name. So I got that. I'm like, oh, I was born in St. Paul. Wow, that's really weird. And that's when it hit me too. You know, about a year and a half later, we found out we were pregnant with our first child, my daughter. And that's when I said, you know what? You know, it's not that important to me, but maybe it would be important to my kids to know kind of their family tree beyond just my adopted family. So that's when I finally said, you know, we'll put some feelers out and see what we can figure out. So I talked to my mom. She said, yeah, you were adopted through Catholic Charities of Dubuque, Iowa. And so I sent some information to them. They didn't have any information, but just as I did that, my mother who had been trying to seek me out, I'd gotten another letter from the Catholic Diocese saying that someone in your family is interested in meeting you. And that happened to be my mother. I wrote back, said, yep, here's my contact information. I'll talk to her. And literally, I sent the email. They sent it somewhere. And within 24 hours, I got a phone call from my mother. Okay, so then I met my mother. And then we learned the story about my father, who was a student at Northern Iowa, where she was a student in New Mexico, but she went to Iowa for the summer where her family was. Her father was a professor at the University of Northern Iowa. My father was a grad student at the University of Northern Iowa, and they were friends already. And my grandfather, boy, this is confusing. My grandfather knew a bunch of foreign exchange students. My father was one of those students. My mother and my father met. They became friends. You know how that works. She was pregnant. My father offered to marry her, but he was, you know, studying to get his master's degree for education. And she's like, nah, this ain't going to work because I'm not going to Nigeria if we get married. So she said no. He went back to his studies. She was sent to a home for Catholic girls who happened to be pregnant, and they disappear until they have their babies. And that happened to be in St. Paul. So I was born in St. Paul. And then later on, a few years later, we also found my father. Now that story I'll tell another time. That's a long, long story on how that all worked out. In any case, my father's from Nigeria. My mother's from California now, which she was in New Mexico. But, and my father happens to be a tribal chief in Nigeria, which in that culture makes me a prince. But I didn't send you any of those letters. Not one. I did not send you any of those letters. I don't need money to send to be able to get some money out of the country. If you want to send me money through Streamlabs, great. But that's just going to go to me, not going to anything else. But so don't go crazy. But other than that, give the stream a like and share. Yes, please do that. So anyway, that's the story. We'll get again. We'll get that in another. What is that? What the P stands for? Oh, as a matter of fact, it does. So the story about the P and Dawg Knight. So when this story broke, my wife has some friends who are in media, and my wife was telling her friend this story. She goes, "Oh, that would make a great story for the local media." So, she was, she told one of her friends, and someone from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune came out and interviewed me to tell, about the story about this Egan guy who found out he's a prince. And so they did this story, and it made it, like in the front page of the lifestyle section of the Star-Tribune. And so a lot of my friends around town knew about it. And then that story went out on the UPI wire, so I started getting phone calls from all over the country, and even from NPR and from some Canadian radio stations all over here wanted to interview me on the radio. And one of my good friends here, Mitch, started calling me Prince all the time. Hey Prince, say Prince, and I'm like, you know what? Dude, don't call me Prince, man. That's just, it's because I didn't even know what it meant at the time. I hadn't met my father yet. I hadn't gone to Nigeria, and I had him calling me Prince all the time. I'm like, dude, don't call me Prince. He goes, okay, fine. I'm gonna call you P-Dawg. And I'm like, okay. You can call me P-Dawg. So he started calling me P-Dawg all the time. And he's also kind of a clever guy. And one day he just was, out of the blue, he said, hey, Dawg Knight, which is, kind of a play on the band Dawg Knight. He started calling me Dawg Knight. So that's how I got the name Dawg Knight. And it's stuck with me ever since. Sometimes my son, if we're in a crowd and he can't get my attention, he'll yell out, hey, P-Dawg. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so that's how I got the name Dawg Knight, and it's kind of stuck with me ever since. And that's what I named my Twitter account and my YouTube account when I first started these. And then eventually I also have accounts that have my regular name on there. But my regular name is very long, and we'll get to that story another time too, because I'm running out of time here. All right, so yes, that's what the P stands for. Anyway, so that's going to be it for today. I'm not going to do any headlines. We kind of got a few headlines out of Twitter today. Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. I hope that no one else, you shouldn't have to have that fate. But again, someone's got to use the. I'm waiting for someone to use his picture when he was 17. Well, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to leave that alone. Anyway, it's a lovely day. It's starting to snow here in Minnesota, and I have to go start driving, so I'm going to get off the screen here. I want to thank you all again for joining me today and all these days. A lot of you have been here quite often. I really appreciate it. If you can do me a favor, the biggest thing you can do, again, right down there, you can hit that share button, share this stream, even though it's not... people can watch it on repeat. I know I've been getting quite a few views on my streams after the fact, which is kind of cool. I know I do my stream the same time as Blind Press. I'm going to check. I might have a chat with her and see if maybe we can collaborate on a stream one of these days. That'll be kind of fun. We could probably simulcast it on both channels. And so that's kind of it. But, I got to get out of here. It's the end of the stream. Remember, I do this Monday through Friday around 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, Monday through Friday, and then we do occasional streams in the evening and occasional streams on the weekend. So that's it for today. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here.